Hi, John here, doing another video on breath work. In this one, we're going to cover how you go from doing the cycling breath to where you're inhaling kind of fast. And I'll give you an example, which is like using your throat here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slow down and then tighten up the throat. This is the next part of it that I wanted to share is that what you start doing is you're not breathing so fast. You're starting to slow down, but what you're doing is you're tightening up the throat and then learning how to flip that throat lever to where you're making sound and you're just passing air. There's a difference, obviously. So the practice is like this. This is just all sound, or I meant air just passing. Now I'm going to try to make a little noise. There's a balance between making too much noise to where the flow stops completely, and there's a let go to where you're just letting the air flow. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm slowly pushing into the sound until I hit a wall, and it's like everything just stops. Like it doesn't go anywhere. And what you want to do is you want to kind of touch that side a little bit, then back off. Touch that side and then back off. What you're trying to get to is that space in the middle. That space in the middle to where you are making a little bit of air sound, but also making a little bit of noise. And this is how you get those air pockets. And you're also able to move a lot of energy that way. So you're making a little bit of sound, but not too much because it'll stop the flow. But you want to still keep it going. That's why you don't go all the way into sound and you keep kind of doing this back and forth. And you learn to balance that. Making the sound, not making sound. Make a little sound for a while, then when it stops, like back up and then do a little bit less. And then see what kind of energy comes out. Because a lot of times there's like bubbles that are bubbling out. Like when you're doing that exercise, it's almost like you wouldn't feel that energy come out if you didn't find that balance between making the sound with your throat and then just exhaling air. Okay, so here's another example. So you can make a little sound on the inhale, but I like to focus mostly on the exhale to try to find that balance. And as you've heard now, you start going slower and longer. You slowly inhale for a few seconds, then you slowly exhale for a few seconds. And as you keep doing this practice, breathing in for 5, breathing out for 5, breathing in for 6, breathing out for 7, and so on. You can even go to 10 seconds if you need to. What you're doing is you're becoming more focused and you have more control in the throat to kind of manage what's happening. And a lot of times, like, I'm exhaling and there's a sound, and then something pops out and it's like, whoa, and I had like a release coming out of my throat. Okay? So this kind of practice will help you move this energy. And what I was talking about earlier is that it's all about learning to find that balance. You don't want to be too much like that's like going to one extreme, which is fine. We'll do that later in the next video, which is like expressing the vibration and focusing on the vibration more than actually moving the energy in your body. And then you don't want to be just sound because it's just air and you're not physically kind of like working that space in your throat. Because what happens in your throat, you're able to tighten up. You're tightening up like this kind of, what do they call, like a nozzle in your throat. And as you keep practicing the sound air mixture to where you're making a little bit of sound, making a little bit of air sound, and keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, what happens is you start to compress the air more and more inside your throat. And this is leading to superhuman breathing, to where you can really train yourself to take in large amounts of air in small breaths. And what happens in that sense, you get a lot of energy coming in your body, and you're able to physically be more intense. You can run faster, you can do more exercises. This is the beginning of the superhuman breathing cycle that we're going to talk about in later videos. Okay, thanks for watching.